Hi everyone, Emily here from Emily's Excellent Epics, and today I have for you my June TBR. And this one, in months past, has been more like this is a pile of possibilities. This I feel like is a little bit more set. So I'm doing a couple of read-alongs that other booktubers are hosting, and then I'm also participating in the Amazing Race that Bree over at Four Paws and a Books is hosting. And I am participating on Team Lore Keepers. Uh, I don't know the other host, but I do know that Leandra from Leandra of the TBR Zero, she is one of the hosts of the Lore Keepers. And um, sorry, my brain is a little muddled today. I'd filmed this yesterday and I'd forgotten to put in a couple of books. So I was like, I'm gonna have to refilm because I don't know how to edit yet. I keep saying every summer, like I'm gonna figure out how to edit, and it hasn't happened yet. So hopefully this summer will be it. I'm feeling a little self-conscious. My nails are a hot mess, and I was kind of a hot mess this morning at church. So little story on what happened this morning, why my brain might be a little cluttered. So I sing on worship team, and we have steps to get onto stage. There's not a lot. There's just a couple. But I have bad knees and bad feet. Like I have plantar fasciitis. And I'm older. I've been overweight. I have arthritis. Okay? So for years, I've been saying we need a railing for these stairs. Like I'm nervous. I'm going to fall. I'm nervous. I'm going to fall. Well, we finally do have a railing now. We got one last fall. And today, like the pastor calls us back, the worship band, to come back up to get ready for communion and then do our worship set after communion. So I'm walking up and my flip-flop just folded, like caught on the edge of the stair, and it folded underneath my foot and down I went. And I went back and I was like, all right, I just need to see, like, because we live stream our church services. So I was like, I just need to see, like, please don't tell me that it's on camera for everyone to see. And it's not, but you can hear my thunk. Like, it was a good thunk. And so I was just kind of stopped for a minute and because whenever I fall, I don't immediately get up. Like I have to assess first, like, did I damage any body part? Because I've broken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've had 5 broken bones. So I have to assess, did I damage any body parts? And then I had to kind of scoot myself to the steps so I could leverage up on the railing to stand up. So it took me a minute. And then of course, now I'm standing on stage after a fall. Pastor had to stop to be like, are you okay? So I'm embarrassed and I'm frustrated with myself. So I'm crying because I just want to hide in a corner. But I can't because I'm singing on worship team. So that was my Sunday morning. So tears were a little flowing freely this morning. And not because I'm okay. Thankfully, my knee feels remarkably much better than I thought it would. Like basically no pain. I don't see any bruises. I'm good. Just really embarrassed and really frustrated with myself. So, and really, I mean, it shook me up pretty good. And what was funny was one of the songs that we sing, one of the lyrics was, even when I stumble, even when I fall. I was just I mean, and yes, it was in reference to sin, but I just kind of was all right, here we go. I'm singing this. I need to sing this. So, at any rate, so that was my morning. I know I'm filming. So I say all that in case I speak and I just stop going and go, what was I supposed to say? Because one, shaken up, and then also another thing to note, menopause and brain fog, they're real things. So just be patient with me today. So that being said, I am doing the Amazing Readathon, and I'm Team Lore Keepers, and we get extra bonus points on Team Lore Keepers for books with like a strong family theme, like a strong family tie in it, whether it's biological or found family. Um, each team has like some kind of different, like if you read this and like this book has this kind of theme in it, like you'll get extra bonus points. Like some teams have like, if it's set in a school setting, I don't honestly remember which team has that, but one is like if it's set in a school setting, I know everybody gets extra bonus points for LGBTQIA plus rep, whether if it's a main character in the book or the author is part of that community. So let's just get started. Without further ado, let's get started into my TBR. I don't know. Oh, I should kind of explain a little bit with the readathon. So in years past, like this is only my second year participating. Last year I was my first. Excuse me. And in years past, you wouldn't know what city you would go to next, when that city would drop, what prompt you would have. And so we're all like frantically reading our books. And then once you finish your book, if the new city has not dropped, you had some like sightseeing prompts that you knew ahead of time that you could pick from and read from there while you're waiting for the next city to drop. This year is different. First of all, it's the theme for the Amazing Readathon this year is the worlds are waiting. So we're going to travel beyond Earth. Okay. In addition, we don't know what the sightseeing prompts are this year. We do know the different like travel prompts are and what the prompts are for each leg of our journey. We just don't know when it's going to happen. Like we don't know when these prompts, when we will get them, where we'll be going, when. So that's why like we could plan our TBR ahead of time, but we just don't know what order we're going to read it. Okay. So this first book, I don't know if this will fit any leg prompt, and it's okay if it doesn't. This might be, hopefully this will fit a sightseeing prompt. But Krista over at Books and Jams and Sarah over at Sarah's Nightstands are doing a read-along of An Ember in the Ashes series by Sabaa Tahir. And yes, I have the OG covers for books 1 and 2. So when they like, and I've been debating rereading this series because I have Air and I have not dived into Air because I started reading it and I was like, I kind of want a refresher of some of the events that happened. And Air is like, it's set within the next generation from this series. And it has characters from this series and fallout of actions from that happened in this series in Air. So you really do, I feel like, have to read Ember to Ashes if you want to read Air. But An Ember in the Ashes is about Leia and her. So we're in this like martial empire, and Leia is from like the scholar sector, and they're poor and not trusted by the people in power. And her brother is arrested for treason. And so Leia decides that she's going to help the rebels and she's going to go kind of like undercover and spy on the head like commander at this military academy. And Elias is a soldier there and she kind of meets him. And what is going to happen there. Like I said, I've been kind of debating, should I reread this series? And then when Krista and Sarah announced that they're doing a read-along of the series, so like June will be An Ember in the Ashes, July will be book 2, and I can never remember what book goes in what order. I was so excited because this is my favorite YA series. Like, I loved Hunger Games. I loved Legend by Marie Lu. There's so many good YA series, but this is my favorite. So I've read this book like 3 times because as each book came out, I kind of like reread it. But the last 2 books I have not reread. So I can't wait to dive back in and feel all the feels with these books. And if you have not read this series, you really need to read this series. It is so good. Okay. Another read along that I'm doing. So Mitzi over at Mitzi Reads and Writes, she is doing a read along of Middlemarch by George Eliot, or Mary Ann Evans was her birth name. She took the pen name of George Eliot so that way she could be published. And this is just about Dorothea Brooke, who is an idealist, and she wants intellectual fulfillment. But of course, she is a female in Victorian times. And so she marries this like scholar Casaubon, and it's not a great marriage, but she marries him because she believes that with that marriage she could be able to further her intellectual pursuits. And so from what I understand, this book deals a lot with like obviously feminist issues. It deals with there's a doctor, and it so deals a lot with like social reform, the industrial age, labor unions, and so she's doing this read along June, July, and August. So like there's like apparently I guess 8 books. This book is divided up into 8 books. So the goal is to read like a book a week, or about 120 pages a week. And then by like mid-August, this book will be finished. And then like if you want to participate, she does have an announcement video for this. Her channel is Mitzi Reads and Writes. And just email her your email and your handle name on Voxer, and you'll be able to be part of the Voxer group. So there's that. And then, so that book is not going to count for Amazing Readathon because I'm not going to finish it in June. I'm hoping this will fit some kind of prompt. But this is Voyage of the Basilisk by Marie Brennan. This is book 3 in the Memoirs of Lady Trent. And I read book 2 in May. And in this book, we further the travels and the journey of Isabella Camhurst, who is a naturalist in a time that's remarkably like, I liken this to Victorian England. Some people say Regency England, but really like if you look at the artwork, I feel like it fits more Victorian England. And as the books progress, I kind of peeked because I just wanted to see what the artwork in other books look like. I'm trying to find, is there anything in here? So like as they progress, they get more and more realistic. And one of the later books, there's not that many pictures in this one. Huh. In one of the later books, it's actual like photographs, so that's why I feel like this is more Victorian times. But I really, really have been enjoying it. And it's also a shorter fantasy. So the key for June was trying to pick shorter books, because we've got 10 different prompts. One of the prompts is a book shorter than the last one read. So I don't know what will work for that prompt. I can't plan that prompt. So I've got nothing to share for that, but that is one of the prompts, is a book shorter than the last one that you've read. Who knows what that will be? All right. So first prompt that I can plan for is a cozy book or like a comfort read. So I've got a couple options here. Either The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. Sorry if you could hear that car. I live right by a busy street and it's beautiful out. I don't want the air conditioning on, so I've got the window open. So I apologize for any car noise. So The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. This is it's a cozy fantasy. And all I know really is that our main character is a librarian. She has to flee with books from her library after it was attacked. And she goes back to her, the home that she grew up in. And meets like a found family there. If I don't read that, another option would be The Teller of Small Fortunes by Julie Leong. And this, again, also is a case of found family, as our main character is a fortune teller, but she purposely does not want to tell big fortunes and the risk that entails. So she sticks to just small fortunes. And that's really all I know. The next book prompt is a book with a romance. Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I have loved everything that she's written. I will say this, her second trilogy, Part of Your World, Yours Truly, Just for the Summer, I liked significantly better than her first trilogy. But this one deals with like our main female character, like because her family is in crisis, any kind of relationship would be impossible with our main male character, Xavier Rush, who is a veterinarian. And I guess they had like this one perfect date, and then family crisis emerges and she's like, I can't. I'm nervous about this book. I've heard very mixed things about this book, but it's Abby Jimenez and I love her. All right, the next prompt is a book with a green cover. I could do book 3 in the Percy Jackson series. I feel like those covers are green. And I read, sorry, I noticed a lint. I read the first 2 books actually last June for the Amazing Readathon. So that's a possibility. But I'm also wanting to work through my Book of the Month books. So a book with a green cover would be The Wild Huntress by Emily Lloyd Jones. And this is a YA fantasy. And it's every 5 years, these 2 kingdoms take part of this wild hunt. Joining is a big risk as the best hunters can suffer cruel, horrific fates. Branwen is desperate to cure her mother's sickness. Gwydion comes from a magically talented family, and he's the least impressive. And then another character is Princeborn and monster raised. And so for sure, family themes are like the motivation for our characters' actions, and joining the hunt is their family and their family ties and what their family needs. So definitely fits that. And I'm looking, sorry, the reason why I keep looking over, I do have my journal is set up. I'm going to show you how I do this. Pause there for a minute. So I wrote down the prompts, and then in pencil, I write down the books that I plan on reading. And then as I read them, I erase, and then I can write in. And also, like, the reason why I do it in pencil is in case I end up switching out for a different book, then I don't have something in pen that now I'm like, oh, I didn't read that, and I have to cross off or white out. I could just erase, and then after I finish that book, I can write it in pen. Okay. So we did book with a green cover. All right, the next prompt is a book with low ratings that you think you'll still love. So this does have low ratings on Goodreads, and I'm hoping I'll love it. I picked it because it's the 250th anniversary of Jane Austen's birth, and this is Jane in Love by Rachel Givney. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, I'm sorry. So this is, so Jane Austen in Bath, England. She somehow time travels or gets transported to modern day Bath, England, where they are filming, a film crew is filming Northanger Abbey, and she befriends the actress starring in that film, and that actress like offers to help her try to get back to her time, and Jane meets Sophia's brother Fred. So there are family ties there. The next prompt is a book that takes place in a large city, or that takes place in a large city. This was so easy for me to figure out what to read, and that would be Summer in the City by Alex Astor. I know I have said like we have to stop buying special editions and exclusive editions. I know it, like, and I am guilty of doing it because I do like these edges better than the regular sprayed edges. The taxis are just so stinking cute. But this is about a screenwriter, and she lives next door for the summer to like a billionaire bachelor. He's like a tech guru, and he offers to kind of like help her and take her on different adventures in the city to help her with her screenplay, while she helps him like through like just to kind of they fake date as his business is going through his company is going through a business acquisition. So it's nice and short, which is what I need for the amazing readathon. The next book prompt is a violent word in the title. So when I think of violent word, I think of murder or war or any kind of like weapon in the title. So that would be The Sword of Kaigan by Emma Wong. And the subtitle is A Theonite War Story. So there we go. We have violence in this title. And this is, from what I gather, a mother has to kind of, I think she has to go back, like she's like a retired martial arts person, and she has to like come back to save her 14-year-old son. That's basically what I know. So this is my chonkiest book. Like Wild Huntress is chonky too. It's like over 400 pages, but like that one will be a quick read. It's a YA read. This is not. This is more high fantasy, and this is 600 pages. But I'm hoping to save. We have some like travel power up cards, and there's one where like you can double, like you get points for the number of pages that you read in the book, and one I think will like double those pages. So I'm definitely going to use that power up card on that book. The next prompt is a celestial or godly word in the title. Now I could do the gods of Jade and Shadows for that. I've thought about. I could do When the Moon Hatched, because that definitely has moon in the title. But I also want to make sure I've got family themes. So for that reason, sorry, my books are on the floor. I'm going to do Water Moon by Samantha Soto Yambao. And our main character in this, what's our main character's name? Hana Ishikawa. She takes over like her father's pawn shop, and on her first day of ownership of it, her pawn shop is ransacked. Like she wakes up, her pawn shop is ransacked, the most precious acquisition is stolen, and her father has gone missing. And so she has to go and figure out, like, go and save her father. So that's why I decided to choose that book for that prompt. The next prompt is an over-the-top cover. And I feel like that's up to interpretation, right? So I toyed with Yumi and the Nightmare Painter because that cover is just gorgeous. I toyed with the Frugal Wizard Guides for Saving Medieval England. Sorry, I'm looking over here because my bookshelf is there where the books are. So I toyed with those books because those are, I backed that Kickstarter when those books came out. And the covers are over the top because they're stunningly beautiful. But I didn't want to do a majorly long book when I've got a lot of reading planned for June. So I do think this cover is a little over the top because there's just so much going on. It is stunningly beautiful. I do love this cover. It is a little over the top. And that would be Where the Library Hides by Isabel Ibanez. And this is book 2 in the duology. And in the first book, we followed Inez Oliveira. She traveled from Argentina to Egypt, following a letter from her uncle that informed her that her archaeological parents are dead. And so she travels there to discover what happened, like how did they die, to learn more about them and their lives over in Egypt, because she was never brought with her parents to Egypt. And of course, in all of this too, we have discussions on colonialism and basically the grave robbing that that happened in Egypt. I did really enjoy book one. It ended on a cliffhanger. I'm hoping I could remember enough from book one to read book two, although there wasn't a big gap between the two books, so I think I'll be able to do it. Phew. And then the last book is a book with a chilling cover or set in a winter setting. And that would be Any Trope But You by Victoria Levine. Clearly, we have a winter setting. And in this, our main female character, Margot Bradley, she's a best-selling romance author, but she doesn't believe in happy ever afters. And in fact, what she does is she has like this document where she writes alternate endings to her novels, where like they get divorced or they separate, I don't know, like just bad endings. Well, that document gets hacked and gets leaked. And so her career kind of plummets. So she needs to find a way to support her chronically ill sister. So she and her sister go up to Alaska, and she decides to work on writing and like just for like I think a vacation or a writing retreat. She decides to work on her first murder mystery. And while there, she meets Dr. Forrest Wakefield, and he gave up his dream job as a cancer researcher to go and take care of his family's lodge, work at his family's lodge, because his father is ailing. So for sure, we got our family themes there. Whew. That's a lot of reading. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 main prompts, plus I have 2 other books that I plan on reading. I'm hoping I can use Voyage of the Basilisk as my book shorter than the previous really read book. I do have other options that I can use, like for sure that would be shorter. Like I have a mystery book that's like 100 some odd pages. That for sure will be shorter than any book on this TBR. I just am hoping to not have to use it because, again, the more points or the more pages, the more points that you'll earn for your team. So, as always, I always have to ask, have you read any of the books that are on my TBR? Anything that you're looking forward to reading in June? Anything that you feel like I need to definitely make sure I get to in June? And as always, please like, subscribe, hit that notification button. Also, leave a comment down below. Those comments actually do help the channel grow. It helps the visibility in the logarithm. If you're not sure what to comment, leave some kind of a travel emoji, whether it's a plane, a spaceship because we're going to other worlds, a boat, car, a bike, any means of transportation. Thank you so much. Bye.